Hello there. Welcome to the show where I review films, aptly titled The Film Review Show. This week I'm going to look at a few more new releases as well as suggesting a great film that is floating about on DVD. On with the show. From the maker of the liquid awesome Thank You for Smoking and the rather sweet Juno, Up in the Air is a film about a corporate downsizer, a man who essentially travels across the country firing people, which is a rather harsh job in any circle, but then again the man is George Clooney, so maybe that would ease the pain of it all. The aforementioned Clooney hatchet man Ryan Bingham is someone who loves his job, not because he likes firing people and making them cry, but because he enjoys the lifestyle. He enjoys the single-serving beds, food and people, and he loves the unparalleled organisation of it all. This film is shown magnificently through Jason Reitman's tidy directorial style, but more on him in a second. First, let's tick that old actor box. Anna Kendrick, who plays the newbie Stacy, is trying to learn the ropes from the at first reluctant Ryan. She is absolutely brilliant in her role, as well as Clooney, who just can't help but ooze liquid amazing coolness all over your face. But it is really the rest of the cast in the much smaller roles that really bring the film to life, especially Jason Bateman, J.K. Simmons, Amy Morton, the list goes on for quite a while, as each role, no matter what its size, is perfectly crafted with each of its significances to the overall film, which is what brings me to Jason Reitman. A man whose real talent isn't his skill with shots and visuals, which are always nice nonetheless, but his ability to give a film a heart and a soul. As I said before, every little thing in this film feels warm. Even with the cold palette the film shows, every detail is placed there for a reason. Also, most of the people being fired in the film were in fact real people who were laid off that were actually paid to relive one of the worst moments of their lives, which sounds harsh, but much like one of the main points of the film, is needed to show that there is light at the end of the tunnel, that there is hope, that it's not the end of the world. It gives a real level of reality to this film, especially one made at such a time with an economy like this. This has just got such relevance that barely any other film has. It couldn't have come out at a better time, so go and see it as soon as possible. It is brilliant. Go! A film I'm in rather two worlds about this week is The Book of Eli. Set in a dystopian world that smells like Mad Max and looks like Fallout. It is made by the Hughes brothers from a script by Gary Whitta. The film follows a man possibly called Eli, who's played by Denzel Washington in his biblical journey across the wasteland. Along the way, he bands into antagonist Carnegie, played by the wondrous Gary Oldman, who wants the book Eli possesses, as you normally do. Getting caught in the middle of all this is Mila Kunis, Tom Waits, Jennifer Beals and Michael Gambon. I'm trying my hardest to avoid the plot, as to be honest there isn't that much of it, which is one of the things I'm in two worlds about, as on one hand it's really just about Eli's journey with his book, but on the other there isn't that much substance to go along with it all. On the other hand, the soundtrack from Atticus Ross is fantastic, and it is up there on one of my favourite scores of the year so far. The characters are very bland most of the time, and while the performances by the leads, with my favourite man crush ever, Gary Oldman, being as awesome as he always is, he's never given, as with all the other actors, any mega scenes to really give the characters any more depth. There are some fantastic set pieces throughout the film, but aren't really long enough or significant enough to merit much for the overall film. It's been something I've been debating for a while now, which I suppose is one of the film's concrete strengths. It causes discussion. Some have said it's a very shallow film that doesn't amount to much, and others like myself found much of the film had a depth from the general concept that gave it a slightly more enjoyable edge. It is gorgeously shot thanks to cinematography Don Burgess with a really washed out look, but that has been done by so many films before to much greater effect. For example, the seminal Three Kings. And all these debates and contrasting factors that make this a bit of a bitch to review, to be honest, and the only advice I can give you is you should ignore everything you've heard about the film and go make an opinion for yourself. which I suppose isn't something you want from a film review at all. So all I can say is that I enjoyed it, and you probably have a 1 in 3 chance of liking it. If not, you will find it a shallow, ultra-preachy waste of A-list talent. Time to throw away my auto-cue head and give a short 1-minute review of Diving Bell and Butterfly. So, in the words of Anne Robinson, start the clock. The film is a French film, but is in fact made by New York artist Julian Schnabel, who wrote the film in English and then learned French and adapted it to French. He then cast some fantastic actors, including Matthew Almeric, who plays the Jean-Dominique Bauby, who is in fact the bad guy in Quantum of Solace. But anyway, Jean-Dominique Bauby has locked-in syndrome, a condition after he had a stroke where basically all he can do is pretty much move his eye and nothing else. The film is fantastically shot from his perspective, giving a real horrifying look into what it would actually be like to have such a terrifying condition. The film is scary as fuck. It is terrifying, but at the same time it captures that emotional feeling of actually being trapped there and really tells the man's story, which is in fact based on a real book. I can't recommend this film anymore. It completely blew me out of the water and then some. Go see it as soon as possible. It's fantastic. Well, that is it for this week. I'm going to try and add some new features and sections and stuff each time the show comes out. So thank you for watching today. And don't forget to visit my blog, chrislovesfilms.blogspot.com, for some deeper film ramblings. Or visit the wonderful Demon TV website, who actually helped make this show. So, anyways, no more shameful plugging. I will see you all next time.